Apollo, bring the heat.
We're live.
Let's go.
What is up, everybody? And welcome back to Italian Football TV. Like we said yesterday, we couldn't have Gaetano and Ludovico yesterday, so we've got a second podcast, second of the week. And actually, I like this.
Back to back.
I think I'm going to like this format.
Yeah.
Can I say something?
Are
we bench players?
Gaetano's
No.
We're not on the bench.
You came when it actually ended.
I think this is for the ones watching. This is the serious IFTV.
I agree.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about serious
professionalism at its best.
I agree.
So I like, maybe that could be
I like it.
The switch.
Yeah. I agree. Yesterday's is a little bit more. Yesterday's is a little more wild and talking about seriousness.
Salute.
Cheers to you
Cheers,
guys. Yesterday Antonio painted our faces. Peter, as you can see over here, had an AC Milan logo on top of him, and I had Forza Milan on my cheek.
Okay.
With some...
wow, looking good. Interesting.
I'm not sure looking good is it. But,
Halloween is 2 weeks away.
I know, exactly. It came early. Peter and I weren't the happiest, but we did lose the bet. So, and we had a loss.
Fair is fair, right?
Fair is fair. Welcome back to Ludovico.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure.
How do you like the Calcio bar over there?
I love it. I love the Calcio bar. I love the atmosphere, and we had an espresso, and it's delicious.
Right?
Good.
Very good.
That's good.
For a Napolitano to tell us that the coffee is good, it's good.
It's a high remark. That's for sure.
It's a very high remark. And of course, we had to come back with you because my gosh, Napoli this week was incredible, and we saved a lot of the Napoli conversation. We touched on it yesterday, obviously, but with Antonio and Peter, it was obviously heavy focus on the Milano derby. But Napoli, 4-1 against Atalanta, and an Atalanta that usually does not go back to this. One of our friends, journalist David Amiol, as he said, I think he said it best. He said Atalanta got Atalantaed by Napoli.
Correct.
Got what?
Got Atalanta by Napoli.
They did their own damage to their team, basically.
All right, so...
Oh boy, what are you gonna say?
Then we'll have the expert there. But just for the record, I was the only one that selected Napoli to win against Atalanta of the podcast. Okay, so that was one of my points. I didn't get too many points this week, very few points, but I was the only one that got. And from the start, I put Napoli on the top 4. So even before the season started, I put Napoli top 4.
You had faith in them.
When a lot of the other put Lazio and I put Napoli. So I believe in the project of Gattuso. I believe in Osimhen. I believe that now he's starting to put the team is balanced. He's got balance everywhere. And there's one thing I don't like.
Oh boy, let's hear it.
It's ADL.
Oh wow.
Him, I don't know if I ever commented on this. I think I did comment.
I don't know.
The Juventus deal. I mean, the 3-0, it could have been okay, but don't penalize Napoli another point. And I blame that on ADL. So I love Gattuso. I love the Napoli. I love everything about Napoli and the way they're playing. When it comes to the president, I'm a little bit hesitant because I think he has an attitude that sometimes he does things that
spontaneously, and without counting to 10.
Right. Testa duro, right?
Okay.
I agree.
So Good job by Gattuso. Good job by Napoli.
Fair enough, and that's a great segue. By the way, to hit on his point, did you think Napoli was going to beat Atalanta?
Be honest.
Yes. Well, I think what happened was Napoli, before the game started, I think Napoli drank from the Atalanta water bottles. That's what I'm
we go.
kidding.
And they didn't get sick.
And that's where we got all well, it's Napoli is it's a solid group. We mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, last week, that the Napoli signings and the new formation and the way Gattuso was able to create this solid group. Like, again, victories always start from the locker rooms. We play the 4-2-3-1 and we defend with the 4-4-2. You have Victor up front. I call him Victor because I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Vittorio. He gives you depth. He gives you power. He gives you technique. He gives you speed. He's very good in opening the space. He's always opening up, and he wins a lot of head balls. And then you have Lozano. To me, Lozano did not play for Napoli last year. I said this last week, is a new signing. And Koulibaly is also a new signing. Now you have somebody solid in the midfield, which is Bakayoko. You have Fabian Ruiz that's finally playing his position. And Napoli brings a lot of players into the other half of the field. Physically, they're doing great. They started great. Everyone is in shape. And I think he found also that right formula with Di Lorenzo on the right and Isaiah on the left. Koulibaly, brand new player, reminds me of the 91-point season with Sarri. Finally, there's a marriage there. They're synchronized with Manolas. It looks like that did not happen last year. So far, Koulibaly did not miss a beat. But what I also want to mention is, I hope Gattuso deserves the credit. And it's not, we all gave Atalanta lots of credit for what they were able to create and the way they play and all the victories and the winning in the past 4-5-0. And I don't want this to look like, oh, Atalanta did not play well. No, I think it was let's give Gattuso what he's able to create and the type of game plan that Gattuso deserves 100% of the credit. And of course, the players. Make sure it's credit is due to Gattuso and not to say like an upset. Even IFTV wrote on Instagram upset. I don't see it as an upset.
You don't think it's an upset?
4-1? I don't think so.
4-1?
Absolutely.
I don't think a win would be an upset, but I think when you score 4 against
4-1,
Atalanta, and to stop
4-1.
Atalanta
I was
from
surprised
scoring,
on the.
But also Napoli was playing really well. Now, one thing we could take into consideration is maybe Atalanta did not have all the players that they were around the world with the world of the European with the national teams and all that. Keep in mind, guys, out of the 4 teams that are playing in Champions League this week, only 1 point out of 4 games.
Yeah,
Juventus.
it's a scary sign.
All the other 3 teams lost. So is that because the first game of the Champions League is very fundamental, is extremely fundamental to win and start on the right, the right way, winning the first game of the Champions League group? Yes, the concentration was not there, maybe. But Napoli played an extraordinary game. The first half was absolutely devastating.
Across Europe, too, we saw a lot of the big teams who had a lot of national team players. They all struggled this week. A lot of them were losing points to teams that you wouldn't have expected. So it probably is true, and a lot of people criticize the international break upon there. And I got a question queued up, but I want to remind everybody that's watching the stream, thank you for watching, first of all, and hit that like button. It helps us out a lot. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe. We should be able to get to 200 likes right away. So we appreciate everybody going. Mike, I know you had something to comment about the match.
Yeah. Okay. I love Napoli's probably my favorite team in Serie A, but I put Atalanta to win this game. I like you said, you have to give Gattuso credit and what happened, but out there that wasn't the Atalanta that was playing the past 2 seasons.
But was it because Napoli did not?
I thought about that too, but Atalanta barely went forward. They didn't look like themselves. They got a goal second half, but they looked deflated. They didn't look like the same team. And I'm not taking anything away from Napoli. I'm just saying it's one game. Maybe not get our heads up so high about Napoli, even though Napoli's playing incredible football. But I just feel like Atalanta just had a bad game, but I think Napoli will continue to do well for sure. 100%.
Also, credit to Ludovico, who earlier in the first podcast that we had you back on spoke about Lozano and said how he's going to be like a new signing for the team because of coming from a league where it's not as physically enduring as Serie A. And I mean, the guy
now you have depth. You have a bench now. You have Politano. Great. He's having a great season. He started really, really well. Lozano could play either the left or the right. Insigne, the same. Now Mertens, you could give a break and put Insigne in the middle because he did play with Ancelotti behind the forward. But what changed the Napoli philosophy was having that right player, the Victor up front, that enables the team to play and create so much space and so much depth that he takes the defenders left and right, and he wins a lot of balls, and he has a lot of speed, and he's always at the right place at the right time. Plus, you need a little bit of the
chemistry.
The chemistry, the chemistry of there, and I have to give credit to Gattuso 100%. For creating this team that plays this fun soccer to watch, and of course everyone is in shape right now, even if you're coming off the bench.
You even see the way that the players celebrate, running over to Gattuso, and some of the pictures are hilarious. We posted some of them, and you just see the passion. Osimhen, Victor, or Vittorio, however we're gonna call him, as we learn how to say his name properly. He even said that Gattuso's been like a father figure to him, and he's helping him get into the team so much better than he would have anywhere else, and how crucial Gattuso's been. So I think that getting that unity is absolutely necessary. I have a very big question before we get to that, though. Donation from David, who comments on what you said. He said, De Laurentiis is like your typical Italian president, similar to Berlusconi, Zamparini, a long history of them. That's what makes it so dramatic and fun. That's David's comment. My comment is, this Napoli, Peter yesterday came on and said, this Napoli can win the Scudetto. That was Peter's words. He thinks that they will be a challenger. A lot of us have spoken about Juventus, Inter, and, some have extended the olive branch to Atalanta to possibly win the Scudetto. Is Napoli, come May, come June, going to be a team fighting for the Scudetto? Ludo, first?
Oh, boy.
I'm very superstitious. I don't. So whenever I talk, I'm always. If the group stays together, I always think that victories and success starts from the locker room, and the health of the players is extremely important. If you have everyone healthy, everyone on the same page, everyone following the same path, I think it can happen. But let's hope these 4 points that we lost against, it's not official yet, that at the end doesn't come back and bite us where it hurts. And like Gaetano was saying about De Laurentiis, yes, the judge did rule. Now you have the appeal, and then you have, I believe, another appeal after that. So the league judge, he only goes according to the protocol of the FGC protocol, so he follows those rules. He doesn't read between the lines, and he's not going to read the fine prints. Basically, there was a protocol, you didn't show up, you lose the game. Now in the appeal, that's when who has more the authority, the Campania health system, the Campania region health system, who has more authority to do that. But Napoli, yes, Napoli can be a contender for the Scudetto, because I feel that this year Juventus is in a what's the word I'm trying to say?
Transition.
It's a transitional and experimental mode. That's probably the word that I'm trying to. And now Inter doesn't sound that convincing. Lazio has their own issues. Atalanta also with Champions League and Serie A. I think Napoli can be a serious contender to win if all the parameters, if everything falls into place and it stays like this until May.
Just to be back real quick, because we do have a donation from Nadal, who said, "We missed you, Ludo. Good to see you back. Forza Napoli." And then he asked if you personally thought that Napoli will win the appeal.
The judge tried to make a point. He tried to set an example that they don't want other teams to repeat what Napoli did. Now you have to determine, and the second appeal will take about 10 days because now you have to send in all the information, all the documents you have to send in, and now it's a different judge that's going to look at the proof, at the emails exchanged, phone calls, and all that. And then you also have a third appeal that you can go to, which is CONI or the TAR in Rome, which has nothing to do with, you're talking about the ordinary judging now, and not only pertaining to FIGC. We don't know. It's hard to tell. The Napoli lawyers, they're very confident that they will win in appeal. Maybe something will change. Maybe 2 points will be given back to us, or maybe 1 point, and we'll take the loss for 3, because now you're going to have. They don't want this to repeat itself, so they're using Napoli to set an example. As an example, so it doesn't happen with teams that are going to have 7 positives, 8 positives, 9 positives, and now you have the authorities of that particular region say, no, you're not leaving, you're not getting on the bus, you're not getting on the plane. So they want to try to, unless they make it more bulletproof, so it doesn't able you to go outside.
You got to answer the first question.
Yeah, for David.
The Napoli. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I want to, because David to compare ADL to Berlusconi. If Napoli loses this game 3-0, I blame De Laurentiis.
Agree.
Punto e basta.
I agree with you 100%.
His fault. Okay, I blame him. So he has to do the best for Napoli, not the best for him that he wants to show Agnelli or whoever he wants to show. No, he has to do what's best for Napoli. And to me, he should have left on that plane that was waiting on that. They had a plane on the runway waiting, and Gattuso and his team had all the bags ready, packed to get on the plane.
The luggages were already on the bus.
I know. So I would blame him. Now, as far as the result, I don't agree with the result. I wish that Agnelli would say, listen, we want to play the game. And play the game some other time. Otherwise, no penalty. No -1 point. You're going to lose. The protocol says 3-0, 3-0.
Yeah, I don't know why there's an additional
But
point.
not an additional -1 point.
Yeah.
That
That's
I
a
don't.
little harsh.
Yeah, that I don't.
Right, but they want to keep it from other teams from doing the same thing.
Yes, that will be there.
Yeah.
I think that Napoli will be there.
Well, you believed in them for the
top four. Yeah.
Yeah.
I made a big mistake.
But now Ronaldo
I made a
became
big
positive in
mistake.
Portugal. If Napoli would have left, they would have gone to Torino, and Ronaldo would have been positive after the Napoli game.
Yeah, who knows? The whole team could have got
World War III
Yeah.
would have happened. Oh, the
Yeah,
Apartments, they came to Torino. They gave Ronaldo the COVID. It's trying to
weird
find
moment.
that
It's very
balance.
strange.
Yeah,
But I
mean,
think it needs to be bulletproof. I think
right
the protocol
now-
needs to be bulletproof.
Right now, and I heard this morning, and I know for a fact you could take a rapid test. In 15 minutes, you get a result. Okay, so you can take the test the morning of. In 15 minutes, you have a result, whether you're positive or negative. Okay, this is the rapid test that it's right. Presently, it's in
But
Italy.
you're talking about ordinary, or you're talking about the FIGC standards, and then you have the UEFA standards.
No,
The
I'm
UEFA,
talking about.
You have to be 7 days non-negative for 7 days
Right,
according
but-
to UEFA.
but
For
na-
Serie A, it could be a different
Right, but
protocol.
now there's a new test, which you could take the test, and in 15 minutes you get a result. So if you want to, for looking for the future, you can have the players take the test in the morning, and then you know for sure that everybody's negative.
But they had to take a test in Torino too. It was
Yeah.
already set. They already
Yeah.
made the
Yeah, yeah.
reservations for the apartment players to take the test on Sunday morning.
Yeah. Okay.
But then a lot of things.
Let's keep going.
Then you have the different protocol. You have the UEFA protocol, which
It's
you have to
strange.
wait a certain amount of days. You have the Serie A protocol. You have to wait less days in order to play, and isolation.
Yeah, they're all different rules.
Right.
Different set of
It's a
rules.
mess. Look at
Confusing.
Spezia, for example. They had what, 11, 12 positives. They played basically with the second team against Fiorentina.
Genoa too a week ago. They're
Genoa
playing with their
and
second
Parma,
team.
the same thing.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the Derby, which was a massive match. Again, thank you to everybody that tuned in during our live stream. It did absolutely incredible. We had obviously Antonio and Peter on yesterday who screamed at each other for most of the time.
Yeah.
But
pretty much.
what did you think about the match? Because I know you were very impressed with Milan's performance in this.
Alright,
match.
Wait,
So-
before we actually go, I just want to hear Ludovico's prediction for that because he's the only one that we didn't know
We
prior
did.
to the match.
Did you
fo-
thi- did you think
no, the
Milan was
match,
gonna
no.
win?
No, the
What
match,
was your-
no. I thought the predictions of the first four.
No.
No,
He said, do you
saying
think
for the
Inter or
derby.
Milan was going to win the Derby?
Yeah.
I thought it was going to end in a
Draw?
tie.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my.
Prediction.
I was impressed with the AC Milan in the first half. I thought for the young team that they have, and this it was a big test for them. I think they did very well. I think Pioli set up the game, and of course, Ibra makes the difference in the locker room and makes the difference on the field. I mean, the guy, he carries the team, and his mentality, because sometimes when you have a young team, they don't know, they don't have the confidence, they don't know if they could do it, and that's where Ibra comes in, and Ibra brings that emotion and the character and the mentality of a winner, and that is contagious. It passes to the rest of them. I thought that Inter as a whole, Inter played a great game in the second half. They deserved to score a couple of goals. I wouldn't have been surprised if Inter won the game. They wouldn't have stolen anything. Probably the better result would have been a tie because of the chances that they had the second half. They controlled the game in the second half. So at the end, good job by Pioli, but Inter is going to be there, and it's going to be there until the end. The team is there. They have to, of course, Kolarov. I already said Kolarov doesn't belong in a defense with three, so that's a big mistake. D'Ambrosio doesn't belong in a defense with three.
In a professional
team. That's where I was disappointed with Conte, because Conte should have made defense with four, which would have adapted better to the players that he had, not adapted those players to his tactical system. You have the players to play with four defenders. Play with four defenders.
Yeah, exactly.
Change it a little bit, because and this is not the first time that Kolarov screwed up on the first game against Fiorentina. He was the last man. He was the last man inside the area, and the ball went over his head, and it went to a Fiorentina. He can be the last man, and the ball goes over to your head. If the ball goes over your head, it's got to go either the goalkeeper or it's got to go out of bounds. It cannot go over your head inside the area, and there's a player there. Then you're not a last man.
And even worse, you can't. This isn't the first time that Conte made this mistake, that he's not tailoring it towards the game. He's just being I'm losing a lot of faith in Conte, because I feel like he's not really adapting to the game of what's going on. I feel like he just keeps pushing his system and hoping it works, and makes the subs extremely too late.
But Inter will be there. The way Inter is the forward line, the midfield, it's something he needs to adjust something in midfield, and of course the defense.
Is this a tactical? Again, I repeated this yesterday, but just to give you context, Conte had said, a coach is like a great tailor who adapts his game around the materials that he has. And when he was at Juventus, he put 3-5-2 because Barzagli, Bonucci, and Chiellini were too good, and you couldn't leave them out.
Right.
Now, is he kind of going back on that because he's not adapting to this Inter, who's now built for a backman three?
Yeah,
when he started, when Conte came, and we were there, and we were at practices when Conte first arrived, it was 4-4-2.
Yeah, 4-2-4, 4-4-2.
Yeah, that's what he was practicing. Then he went to the three-man. I would like to say two quick things, and then I'll pass it on to him. Did you guys talk about why Lukaku was offside?
No.
Okay, so I will
explain us.
I will explain to you why Lukaku was offside. Because Lukaku got the ball from a defender. So we were all questioning why was he offside if he came off the defender. So if the ball hits the defender and it goes to a player who's offside, that player is offside, because the defender did not mean to play the ball. If the defender wants to play the ball and by mistake he gives it to somebody who's offside, then the player is not offside. Is that clear? So
yes.
Let's say I am a defender and I give the ball back to my goalkeeper. That's the play that I want to make. I want to give it back to the goalkeeper,
when
and I give it. And it's I'm trying to make a play, but I make the wrong play, or I give it back with the header to the goalkeeper, and there is somebody from the other team there, and he gets the ball, he's not offside.
Well, we have a perfect example, Gaetano.
But if somebody kicks the ball, right, and I'm the defender, and he hits my leg, hits something, deflection, and it goes to a forward, that's offside. So when Eriksson kicked the ball, Lukaku was offside. So he hit his knee or something, and he went there. He's offside. So that's where the play stopped. Then if it was a penalty or was not a penalty, that's another
Well, if you guys want to visualize what Gaetano just explained, we had a perfect example in one of the matches yesterday, Spezia Fiorentina. Look at the Spezia goal, what Cáceres did, he tried to play the ball, but he missed playing the ball forward, and it went underneath his foot, it touched his spikes, it went to the Spezia player, he was a mile offside,
right?
But he scored.
He missed the ball completely.
No, he did not miss. He tried with the instep, he tried to play it forward, but he missed the ball. It went underneath his foot, but he touched his spikes.
So the difference is he tried to make a play.
Yes.
Cáceres
So Google that to visualize.
He tried to hit it.
He touched it and he went to the defender. Now he's not offside anymore.
Correct.
If Cáceres would have moved out of the way,
correct. Yes,
and
that
let
would
the
not have
ball
been
go,
That
out.
would have been off.
he would have been offside.
He tried to play it forward and he missed completely.
Just to be clear, again, it has to deflect off them without their knowledge of trying to play the ball.
Right.
So let's say if the ball was coming high, he tries to hit it, hits the side of his foot and goes. Because he's intending to hit it the opposite way,
Correct.
it will still count as offside.
No, it will count as a no. It's a goal.
Count,
so
okay.
just to our fans, Google the Spezia Fiorentina match, the goals, the highlights, and you will see the Spezia goal, the Cáceres error, let's call it quote unquote, that he made and Spezia scored.
Second thing you had?
The second thing was Kessie. He made a bad foul.
It's not a red though.
No, it's a yellow, but that was his second yellow, so he would have been out of the game. The VAR is not to look at that. So the protocol is because it happened. It happened just outside the AC Milan area. Yeah, he came out of the area. He made a foul. That
That's
was
a ref
foul.
call.
It's a yellow card. But because that's not part of the protocol, the VAR is not entitled to go see that play. Otherwise, it was a yellow. I mean, when you look at it, you can see it's a yellow, and that would have been a second yellow.
Ludo, what do you think about the match?
Well, going back to, I agree with Gaetano as far as Ibrahimovic. Milan has a young team. They started playing really well prior to the lockdown. And I think Ibrahimovic, thanks to his experience and his presence on and off the field, I feel it takes that pressure off the young players. So the media don't bother them. Everything is like on top of his shoulders, whether he plays well or plays bad. The media will always look for Ibrahimovic. And yes, he did score 2 goals. I feel that Inter has some issues. Number one is, if you are going for the title, and this is what Gaetano was saying, and the 3-5-2 is not working, and we all know how Conte loves the 3-5-2, which he played in the past in his previous teams that he coached. It's not working. Inter, after 4 games, already has 8 goals against. That is a no-no for teams that are trying to win the Scudetto. The only team up there that has the same amount of goal received is Sassuolo. But now Sassuolo plays a different type of calcio, apologize. De Zerbi is a coach from a team that's from a province, not from a big city. So the pressure on De Zerbi is not the same pressure that Conte has. I just feel that if a team goes into a match, an important match like a derby, and you're down 2-0 after 16 minutes, my understanding is there's lack of concentration, there's lack of determination, and there's lack of focus. You cannot go down 2-0 after 60 minutes. Something is wrong. The team is not prepared. The team is not concentrated. The team is not focused. That means as a coach, you did not prepare the team well enough to start this match 110 miles an hour. Call it off. I agree with him. You don't. Yes, that's his natural position. But in Roma, he played left fullback for I don't know how many years he was in Roma.
He always played left fullback.
Yeah,
correct.
Left back
no,
in
he
those
was also
positions.
he also plays the middle, but he hasn't played that position.
No,
so
not
now,
as
in order
much.
to
But,
get
majority was
Now with
left
3
back.
people though.
absolutely, but now in order to play with 3, Gaetano, you need months, you need games after game. Look at Manolas and Koulibaly. It took a season for them to be on the same
Gel a
page.
little
Last
bit.
year they were like,
Horrible,
they were like 2 strangers. The middle, the people, the players playing the middle, have to be like husband and wife. It has to be a marriage. They have to understand each other they have to be synchronized. And after 60 minutes, I feel that Conte, the second year that he coaches, I feel like he loses that touch with the players. It happened also in his previous teams. And he has too many big names in the locker rooms. You cannot make everyone happy. He's always asking. And if he wins, he's the best. If he loses, it's always somebody else's fault.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't like. I see him more as a national
for the
team.
first time yesterday, right? He complimented.
Absolutely.
He complimented AC Milan.
He kind of seemed a little bit like
It was bittersweet.
lifeless. It was a weird Conte to hear.
But in a derby, 2 goals in 60 minutes, something is not right.
He also, like Ludo said, he's known for burning out players after 2 seasons. He never stays somewhere past 2 years. There's usually something comes up. It came up last summer, obviously, big time. But there's also there's 2 big questions that I want to talk about.
You already started with Eriksen?
That's exactly what I was going to bring up. And Eriksen came in the last 12 minutes, 10 minutes, 15
something
minutes.
like that.
Did absolutely nothing. Even Peter was very disappointed with how things are going. Di Canio gave a big quote saying that someone like Eriksen does not work tactically under Conte. He's played 10 years at Ajax and Spurs, which play the opposite of Conte's football. I'm not saying it's better or it's worse, it's just different. Conte is demanding and a maniac. Eriksen isn't emotional. If he wins 4-0 or loses 4-0, he's got the same face.
Right.
Conte likes emotional
It's another
players,
day at the office.
that guys that give their all for something. So is Eriksen officially a case at Inter that he's not going to work with Conte?
Well, that's what I said on the last live stream, right? I said when he goes into the field, you don't see the fire in his eyes. You know, you should be, man, this is the derby. You know, you should be
Absolutely.
there. You know,
It's bragging rights.
You go there and you want to.
Yeah.
He goes in. All right. Yeah, he goes in. All right. Okay. It's just like another game. It's not another game. So yeah, that's a very good.
Unless he expected something, unless the initial conversation that he had with Conte when he came to Milan, that Conte said, "Okay, this is what I want. This is what I'm getting you for. This is what I need from you. This is what you're going." And Conte is not delivering on his promise that he made to the player. But you will see. I hope not. But you will see more of these scenarios
Eriksen,
in the
if he doesn't
locker
play,
room.
he's not going to stay.
Yeah.
In January, this guy's out.
I
I don't know why didn't they sell it now? Because if you don't have it in your plans to play this guy, get rid of him.
But 8 goals after 4 games.
Get something.
That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot of. I mean, you have to try now to fix something and maybe change your formation and be more balanced. Because 8 goals, it's too much for a team. I mean, Sassuolo is different. Sassuolo is different.
Capello came out with a big quote too. He said, with the league as uncertain as this year and with how odd this season is going to go, he thinks that Milan has a chance to win the Scudetto. He said if they all follow Ibra's lead, they could go as far, they could go all the way. What's everybody's thoughts on Milan? What's the limit of this team?
Well, we're asking a lot from Ibra because you have to understand he's 39 years old, or he's going to be 39 the next couple of days. So can he last the whole season? They also play in the European League, Europa League. So can he last the whole year? I don't know. Like I said, I put him in top 4. That's as far as I'm going to go.
It's not easy for a 39-year-old player to play 2 games a week. Now they're also in Europa League. Defensively, Milan is doing great. After 4 games, they only give up 1 goal. So you already know now that that defensively Milan is solid.
Best defense in Serie A.
Best defense in Serie A. They're in first place. They deserve to be there based on how they've played so far and what they've shown. But now here's the big question: what happens if Ibrahimovic is not well, is not healthy? Who can take his place and put that ball in the net, even though the defense can hold it 0-0, but now you need to score. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If Ibrahimovic doesn't score, who can actually take that place? And that's what
big question.
That's what Milan is lacking, hoping and praying that Zlatan will stay healthy until he's a lion. He's a workhorse. He loves it. He loves when the pressure is on him. He loves when everybody looks at him, and I think that's good for the team because it keeps the pressure off the other young players that are not used to this pressure at the moment in a big city like Milano.
He's also just to finish with him. He's also renewing. I mean, they're talking about renewing him for one more year. They're saying that he wants to stay again an additional year. And I saw this question from ESPN that they posed this question, and I thought it was pretty interesting. They asked, after Messi and Ronaldo, who I think we could all agree have been the two best players by a long shot for the past 15 years, 10 to 15 years, they've dominated the game. Third to them, they said, is Zlatan Ibrahimovic of the past 10 to 15 years the best player after Messi and Ronaldo? What are you guys' thoughts?
No, I would not go that far.
Whoa.
Who would it be?
Who's your third?
I mean, he came and played in MLS.
And he came back.
Yeah, he came back, but the 3 years that he was here, I mean...
Wow. He was injured, though. Manchester United, he was injured. PSG was doing very good.
Yeah, PSG did okay, but Man United, and then he came to Los Angeles. I think Mbappé has got more talent. I think as a young player, he won a World Cup already. I mean, I think after the two, I like Neymar is a head case. He's always on the floor. I mean, as far as he could be, but he's not. But I will put Ibra in the top five.
Ludo, what do you think?
Fair.
I agree with Gaetan. He likes the spotlight. He loves the spotlight. Yeah. But I just feel that at the international level, with the Champions League at all, he has never proven to be that top decisive player. And I also agree with Gaetan as far as Neymar, that in the big matches, when it comes to Champions League, they don't show up, and that's when you need the big player to step up. He loves the attention. He wants to be the head of the locker room on and off the field. He loves to be pampered, and he wants the attention, which is good in Milan, in AC Milan right now, which is great. Like I said before, you have those young players. They're willing to give him the spotlight. They're willing to give what he wants, and he wants things his own way. If you don't give him what he wants, he can break the locker room for you. He has that voice. He has that strength, that vocal strength, that he can break the locker room if you don't make him happy with what he wants and how he wants it. He could be a big baby when he wants to, and he has shown that in the past with other teams, like I believe Barca.
Yeah.
He has shown that in the past. But in Milan right now, he's at the right place, because he has a young team and everybody follows him.
Okay. Yeah, this is interesting. First of all, the only thing that's holding me back for him being right after Messi and Ronaldo, after the two aliens, the Champions League is the biggest thing. To be that kind of player, you gotta win Champions League, and Ibra's never won it. And when he's left teams, the teams won it. So that's the only thing. Probably, I kind of agree with you guys. Maybe top five, I'd put him in. But the third, I wouldn't give it to Mbappe just because you got to do consistently over 10 years, and he's too young. Not saying he's not going to do it, but he seems like he's going to be on the path. I wouldn't give it to Neymar either because he didn't show up to the big games. But I think third place is up for grabs. I don't know a real option that could do it. But I think Zlatan's definitely one of my favorite players just in calcio history, just in general. I just love his aura that he brings, the intensity he brings. He never gives up. He's 39. He's killing it right now. And
he wants attention. He loves attention. He loves to be number one. And I think it reminds me a little bit of Michael Jordan.
Yeah, he's
the
a winner.
more you talk bad about him, the more he gets psyched. The more he gets, he wants to show you. Right. He shows that. And Michael Jordan was the same way. Like he fed off the simple things. Oh, Michael, tomorrow you're not going to have a good game. Oh, yeah? That's what you think? I'm not going to have a good game? He would go the next day and have 50, 60 points. Just because the guy said on the golf course, tomorrow you're going to have you're not going to score tomorrow. Yeah. So Zlatan is the same way. He loves attention. He loves to be pampered. He loves to be number one in in Serie A right now. He deserves what he's giving this team.
Ludo, I'm going to put you on the spot right now.
Uh-oh.
What's going on?
I think on this same table, the same position that we're in, I think a year ago or 8 months ago, something like that, we were talking about when he was at LA Galaxy. Zlatan was at LA Galaxy, and there was rumors.
Mike's
like,
pulling out the history books.
Gazette was saying, rumors Zlatan wants to retire in Milan. Oh, this, that. We asked around. We asked everyone, do you want Zlatan in Milan? Do you think he'd be a good fit? Do you want everyone? The one that I remember Ludo saying specifically, he's not what he used to. It'll take too long for him to be back. He already joined the MLS. He's not gonna become the player that he once was. So, do you remember? First of all,
No, absolutely. I remember.
I just wanna know from
Just
your.
deny it. I'll delete the video right
No,
now.
I'm not denying it.
You know how much crazy stuff Antonio said? I gotta delete so much.
No,
I just
I'm
wanna know
not.
from your perspective, it shows what kind of player Zlatan is. It makes him even that much better that he came from playing the MLS to coming back in Europe and pretty much, doing incredible.
Well,
No
you
one
have
could
to.
have expected this. To
Exactly.
be fair,
No
one could have expected
I
Zlatan to do
just
this.
brought that up.
I
because
didn't think he
in
was.
general,
remember that.
In general, and Gaetano, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. When a player reaches the 34, 35 years of age, you have to train when you're playing in a certain in a certain championship, whether it's La Liga, Bundesliga, Serie A,
MLS.
or in France. You have to train in a certain way. You have to, and your body is not the way it is used to be. Now, if you have that drive, he came to the MLS. For him, it was like taking some money, having fun, and enjoying himself. Now, going back to Serie A, he had that will to be the best, to show that he's still alive, that he's not old just because on his birth certificate says that he's 39 years old. Not everybody has that drive to
100%.
train in a certain way day in and day out and train like a 20-year-old does, the way they do it in these leagues. Another player that reminded me that trained the same way when he was 16 years old and when he was 37 years old was Filippo Inzaghi. He trained the same exact way. He never missed a beat. He never said, "I'm tired." He always trained the same way. And Zlatan is the same way. Look at Cassano. Look at Balotelli. These guys, 25, 30 years old, they don't want to practice.
Yeah, exactly.
They're lazy. They don't want to practice. They don't want to get fit. And he still has that will,
The fire.
to show that fire
Exactly.
to go on the field and run against 20-year-olds. And that's what I gave him credit for.
Let's move on. Also, thank you to Hunter for your subscription. Hunter Gomez. We appreciate you on Twitch. Let's move on. And I think that the last thing we'll probably talk about, and then we'll touch upon some of the other things, whatever you guys are thinking about. But Crotone Juve, draw 1-1. Michael and I, we commented a lot about this, but your guys' thoughts on this match? Did you watch the match, and what did you think from it?
Yeah, I don't know why Dybala never went into the game. I'm starting to have my doubts on Pirlo. I think he's trying to reinvent the wheel, and he's putting players Porta Bella, Porta Nuova, Porta whatever is. I mean, he had other players on the bench. And he started with this guy Portabella. I think that Portanova.
You think of the mushroom, Portobello. Fungi.
I mean, Quadrado is of a different level. Even Bernardeschi with Portanova, I mean, there is a difference there. Dybala, why didn't he never went in? He's tried to put the last game. He put Quadrado on the left side, and now he put him on the right side. I think his vision is not. There's a lot of work to be done with that team, and he doesn't have a clear vision right now of with Arthur, with Betancourt, with Chiesa. McKennie with
Frabotta.
No, then he put Frabotta,
Kulusevski.
I mean, Kulusevski, too many. 1 week on the wing, 1 week on the forward, 1 week on the right side, 1 week on the left side. I mean, hello. I mean, try to put this team. One thing that I have to say, when Allegri coached, everybody knew the position, everybody was in the right position. Everybody, when he made a change, he made the right change. of course, Allegri, he was criticized because it was not beautiful soccer. So that's what he was criticized. But everything was crisp. The passes were crisp. Everybody knew exactly what they had to do.
But he's also got 10 years of experience on.
All right. Also, I would like to make a comment on Chiesa for the bonehead play that he made at midfield. What do you make a play at the middle of the field which has nothing?
I don't think it was a red card.
Never a red card.
I don't think it's a red card.
Wait.
No,
Oh, boy.
That's a red card.
No,
Wait,
it's
why?
not.
Why is it a red card?
No.
It's barely a yellow
It's
card.
I wanna
it's
hear
a
red
red
card.
card because I
Why?
saw it in slow motion. You got to saw in slow motion. His foot was like this.
Studs up.
Okay, his foot was like this. I could see the studs. You need to see it. If you look from behind, it's nothing. If you look from the side, it is nothing.
But what's he supposed
because
to do?
Because he went like this. It seems like he went like this. When you look at it in slow motion from a different angle, and I watched it more than once, he went like this.
I don't think that's a red card ever.
That's one thing. And the other thing is that when he hit the ball and he didn't get the ball, he did not stop. He went and followed through to hurt the guy. That's a red card. You got to look at it in slow motion. He never pulled his foot back. Once you don't get the ball, why don't you pull your foot back? He went there, and I saw his studs, and I saw him right over here. You could break the guy's leg.
Wait.
He's got every right.
To my opinion, I don't think it was a red card.
Why not? Tell us your explanation.
I feel that Chiesa is the type of player that is very exuberant. He's very super active on the field, and he feels that sometimes he could do everything 150 miles an hour. Mm-hmm. I think that's a yellow card. Now, my question is this: do we all think that the ref in Crotone Juventus did a wonderful job?
Not that side.
No.
Why not?
This is not a red card. It's never a red card.
Okay. Besides that,
I'm gonna show you.
you and I. I'm thinking.
First.
I'm thinking it's a yellow card. I'm agreeing with you.
I got to see that's not a good angle. Okay, you got to see it from this angle.
I'll get a good angle.
Get the other angle.
I felt that the referee did a wonderful job in Crotone Juventus. Do we agree on this? Maybe, except you think it was a red card. I think it was a yellow card. But other than that, the penalties and the offside.
If he finds the angle, you're going to see the angle, and you see that he never pulls the leg back.
Now, Gaetano, here's my question. If we all feel that the referee did a wonderful job, why was this referee demoted now to go to Serie B in Regina Crotone and be the fourth man?
Where is it?
I'm gonna right here. Is this the one you're talking about?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, Ludo. I do feel like it was kind of harsh on that sense.
Okay,
that it gave
show him this now. This is a record. If you go by the book,
This is not a red card.
If you go by the book,
That's
it's
not
a red card.
This is never a red card. He's got every right to go for the ball for 50-50 ball.
No.
He's got every right to go
He
for
got
the ball.
an instant. The player from Crotone got an instant before to the ball, and he tried
But
with the instep. He did not.
But we have to allow this to be played.
So
it's
now,
a yellow card.
Did you see it?
I saw it live too.
No, you got it. Now live, it's not live is not even a yellow card. You got to look at his studs.
It's a yellow card. It's a yellow card. He's going for 50-50 ball. He steps on the guy.
I personally think a red is
he got to the
orange.
ball first. You have to allow it.
But the rules of the game say that this is my leg. If you go like this with the studs and you go like
But
this,
he's going for the ball.
Yes, but he went with the instep.
He's going for the ball.
No.
Come on, look.
It's not the instep.
That's an instep.
No.
To me, it looked like the instep.
Okay,
Sure.
go back. Stop. Oh, no, keep going.
See?
Okay.
outside,
Wait.
yeah.
His foot now changes. Okay. Stop.
Because
It-
the
it-
ball
because-
got moved.
but
You
his-
see now
but
it's
the
not the
ball got
instep
moved.
anymore. Now it's not the
ball
But
instep.
it was that position though, Gaetano.
It's because the guy got to the ball first. He was
Yeah.
trying to win the ball first by going right at
Right.
it. He didn't go in like this.
Yeah,
But he
yeah.
does not have the ball here. At this
But he was going
point,
for it.
If
at
he
this
got the ball, it
point,
would've
you
been
can
fine.
go.
It was too quick for that
But
for
he
him to
didn't-
change.
But he didn't go in with his studs like this.
Yeah, exactly.
He went inside.
It was
He went
instant.
And then the
inside.
ball moved,
It was
and he
inside.
stepped on.
But
it.
at the end, look the way he is. This is
Yeah,
not
but-
the side.
He doesn't control that. It's
but
happening in
it's
a
like
I
split
know,
second.
but you can't just get this photo and be like, "This what happened." You got to show the whole thing, and
Anyway.
for that reason, I
Okay.
think
Maybe
red is
I'm a
orange.
little bit.
So why was the ref demoted?
I don't like.
Why was he demoted?
I don't like Chiesa. Why
Why he went from a Serie A game? Why this ref, which I think he He whistled a great game. He made all the right calls. Why was he demoted to a Serie B game, being the fourth man in the upcoming match of Regina Crotone?
I don't know.
Regina Cosenza.
He's a young referee.
He didn't make any mistakes.
He's a young referee.
Why is he being sent to Serie B?
I listened to the comment from another referee, and the other referee, which is somebody that is very experienced, and now is commenting. He said, if you go by the law, by the rule of the law, this is a red card, because he went like this. When you look from behind, it looks like he went with the side
So you
step.
feel he was demoted just because of the...
No, I don't know.
Why was he demoted? Why was he being sent to Serie B? Why he can't continue? If he did a great job in the game, I think he made all the right calls.
I'm not sure.
Why would he be sent to Serie B as a fourth man?
But this is my opinion. My opinion is it's a red card. You say it's a yellow card, it's a yellow card. But this is my opinion.
Salvatore said he was not demoted. It was rotation, and even Rizzoli has gone to...
Yeah, I mean, it could have been his rotation.
As a fourth man?
To
me, it sounds a little bit too
It could be part of his rotation. Maybe he was already planned that way. Anyway,
I disagree. That
you think it's a yellow card?
I think it's a yellow card.
I think the way it was, he didn't look. His intent wasn't to hurt the guy, so that's why it looked like it. Even though that picture, it could look like it went to her, but the whole video, he didn't look like he has meant to hurt the guy. Like
He's referring to everything.
He started with the side of his foot, and then
it stayed with the side of his foot though.
Like this. No.
It did go like that, but
it go
it's
like this,
in split seconds.
and then he pressed on his leg,
because
you could break the guy's leg. Once you didn't get the ball and you didn't get the thing, once you go like that, you could throw your foot back.
We'll disagree.
I mean, the referee was two meters away from the play.
And VAR cannot, of course, change that. That's a ref.
Listen, when I saw it live, I didn't even think it was a yellow card.
Okay.
When I saw from different angles, and maybe a yellow
Everyone
card.
was split on this too. There's a lot of people.
I saw that the one that you show me now.
We'll continue with it, but Lab, I just want to read this comment. I said, it's midnight in England right now. I have some oil and I have some olive bread, and I'm watching you guys. Life is good.
so is it a slice of bread for us?
Okay, so is it a red card or a yellow card?
We're waiting to hear from you, Lab.
I hope you don't fall asleep.
By the way, we have a donation from David. He said, I agree with you fully, Gaetano. I also think that Pirlo is trying too hard to make a name for himself. Having said that, I feel like Juve's biggest problem is the director's vision, or lack of that, for that matter. So kind of,
he's trying to reinvent the
what
wheel.
I read also is that Dybala was not too happy after the game.
Well, Pirlo confirmed, by the way, that Dybala was not happy. But Pirlo said he hasn't even played for 3 months, and he was coming back, and he was sick,
taking antibiotics for a couple of weeks in Argentina.
If you bring him on the bench and you got 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and you're losing the game or you're tying the game, put the guy in. Otherwise, don't bring him on the bench. Once you bring him on the bench, the guy's fit to play. That's the way I see it.
I feel right now, I think Juventus is a construction site. That's my opinion. And
you're right.
I feel that Napoli should have gone to Torino. Now, we don't want to get into specifics again about rules, regulations, who has the authority.
Yeah,
whatever. That's we'll talk about this maybe at a later date, 10 days from now, when the decision comes out. Napoli, I think, should have played that game, should have left. Okay, let's leave it at that. Now, Juventus, Pirlo, at the moment, I feel that he's been given a chance by Juventus to experiment. And I think Juventus finally said, okay, we don't want to put Band-Aids every time to get a coach. They want to build something in-house. This is why he's bringing these young players. And he felt that against Crotone, he felt that he could have won that game with the players that he put in, and maybe save some players for the Champions League during the week. He also hasn't seen these players for a couple of weeks because they were around the world playing with national teams, so they didn't practice a lot. So he felt he went with the players that stayed behind, these young players that he put in, and he sees something in those guys. I like the way Morata played, because Morata played like a true center forward, because Ronaldo was not there. So he played like a true center forward. Now, once Ronaldo comes back, and now Morata has to move more to the side. He hit the post, he scored, he was at the right He was at the right place at the right time. He had the opportunities. He was a box player the way we know Morata. Now, Ronaldo comes back. His position will move more to the right. So he's still experimenting. But Juventus will give him a chance. And even if Juventus does not win the Scudetto this year, it's okay. But they want to build something solid for the future. That's the way I think. The only negative thing about this, let's hope Pirlo does not burn himself the way Ferrara did years ago when he went to when he coached Juventus and things did not work out. But I feel this time Juventus will give him a chance to make mistakes and learn from and gain experience.
And not fire him.
I agree.
No, I agree.
I agree with both of you. I think that Pirlo is definitely trying to reinvent the wheel. Like, I mean, the team, to me, the word is disorganization. When I watch Juventus, I've never seen a Juventus so out of place before. They don't know what formation they're playing. Players do not know where they're supposed to go. It never really makes sense.
It takes time, Marco.
No, I agree. I'm just saying what's happening is, that's why I'm touching on both of you. Players do not know where they're supposed to be, for sure. But I do agree. I think that anyone who's surprised, this is what I expected. I expected a coach that's going to go in there, experiment, doesn't really know what he's doing because, again, you got to
give him a chance.
Yeah,
he deserves a chance.
But I'm just saying the only people that are surprised by this are those who had different expectations and expected a Zidane who's just going to manage a team that's already been winning and be like, all right, you guys go do you, which is not Pirlo. And which is what we said, that Pirlo is not Zidane.
All right.
So I think that the only people that are confused are the people who had expectations other than this. I completely expected all of these growing pains.
But just to go back to what you just said, when Allegri came into Juventus, he was smart enough to leave the team the way Conte was playing. And then, little by little, you insert your own mentality and your own tactics. But you cannot expect you go there and you change everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and I think Sarri did the same thing when he got to Juventus. You leave the same tactical. The players, you have you have great.
And gradually
players,
you make
and
the.
then gradually you make the changes. Then
Yeah,
you bring your philosophy, the way you wanted to play. But you know.
Pirlo's doesn't make any sense.
That's
but
the way-
again,
Some players are
I
not.
expect this.
Some players are also not in shape. Look at, for example, Arthur. What's it? Artur.
Yeah.
Coming from Barca. He's
Whatever.
coming from La Liga. The Barca style of playing, a lot of these short passes, one touch,
They don't work
3,
over
4
there.
yards. In Italy, they're not work. You got to try to find the vertical pass, the longer passes, and he's always with these short 2-3 yard
The
passes.
Barcelona mentality. Yeah,
The Barcelona.
exactly.
Now, can he change? Absolutely can. Can he give more? Absolutely. But it's gonna take time for Pirlo to have, for his team to have the right identity. And I hope he doesn't burn himself like Ferrara. And Juventus will give him a chance to make
this one.
those mistakes.
This year they will. And just to those that are saying that we're saying that Pirlo will not succeed, nobody at this table has said that Pirlo will
Absolutely
become a failure. Nobody here is rooting against Pirlo. What we're saying is we're judging after what we've seen so far.
Yep.
If you have seen something else, then you either have your eyes closed or you've got blinders that you don't want to see what the reality of the situation. It does not mean what Pirlo will become. It is just judging the situation for right now.
Only
And
a few
again,
games.
we all know that it's his first time with the job, so you should expect this. But to those saying that we're saying that he's a failure, that he's going to be a failure, that's what nobody at this table has said.
Just basing off the games.
Anything else you guys want to conclude with? Any game that specifically you want to touch upon?
No, just a comment on the Roma game, Roma Spezia. When the ball, I believe, was passed back, Veretout got to the ball first. He passed the ball to the side.
Oh, yeah.
Then he stepped on the Spezia player. That's not a penalty.
Why not?
Because he played the ball first. He got to the ball first.
Okay.
He played the ball, and then he stepped into the guy's foot. That's not a penalty. When Pedro went, the penalty of Pedro, you guys remember?
Yes,
was a long ball. The goalkeeper played the ball first. Then Pedro fell on top of the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper touched Pedro. That's not a penalty. This is according to protocol, according to the same referee with a lot of experience. We saw it in slow motion. He said both were not penalty. I just wanted to comment that.
Anything else that you want to wrap up with in this?
I want to touch on two minor, well, not minor, but two issues. Benevento. I like the way Benevento is playing. I like the style of soccer that they proposing there. That attacking mentality. They play beautiful soccer. They face the opposing team. Maybe Inzaghi, depending on who you're facing, maybe you want to adapt a little bit if you want to stay in Serie A. But they got the right players. They got the right mentality. They got the right coach. They're in the right city and ambience. And I hope Benevento does stay in Serie A. And another team that I feel deserves a lot of credit is this Sassuolo.
I agree.
This De Zerbi, that I think is one of the best coaches in Serie A that can really see and fix the game on the fly. He really sees where the issues are, where where to make the right substitutions at the right time. And his players, they never give up. They are going to win. They are going to receive a lot of goals. They already got 8, but they also will score a lot of goals because of that mentality that he brings. Is he ready for the big scenes? I don't know, because to be a coach in the province, in a small city and a big city, the pressure is a lot. Being a coach
I agree with that.
Ludo, you have a very special fan in the comment section right now. Rosario from Ribalta. He said, Ludo, great to see you. Forza Napoli.
Always.
Sempre.
Ciao, Rosario.
We saw him last week, and he was telling us that he wants to come on. He's like, I want to come for Milan, Napoli. He's like, I want to go against Antonio. So I think
That would be a great match.
it would, right?
That would be a great match.
And I think one day we got to get Rosario and you. We have a full Napoli podcast.
A Napoli podcast.
Some good pizza. We got the coffee now.
But
Perfect.
I just wanted to give a shout out, let's say, to Sassuolo and to Benevento. I really enjoy watching those two teams play. And looks like also Ranieri. Looks like he's putting the
3-0
pieces. You know,
Lazio.
he's creating that puzzle. He's putting the pieces together, and they're starting to win.
Together. Yeah, Sassuolo, I just want to say they're in second place, undefeated right now, 3 wins, 1 draw. And I think that Zerbi's probably the most underrated manager in Serie A because they look like Atalanta
Not
2
Conte?
point. What?
Conte's not the most underrated?
Underrated Conte? Look how much he gets paid. Look at his salary. He's definitely not underrated. And I just want to say they look like Atalanta 2.0 if you really look at them. It's just their defense needs some tweaking in there. And we got a Greek in there, Kyriakopoulos, left back. So I'm happy
Fun to
about
watch.
that.
Fun to watch, and
very fun to watch.
he reads the game on the fly. He fixes the
Exactly.
issues on the fly, and not many coaches can fix things on the fly.
Their best player hasn't been playing yet. Wait till he gets into the system. Then they're really gonna.
Wow, look at this guy,
Chicho.
Ciccio Caputo, also 33 years old. I mean,
Incredible.
and
Ciccio Caputo belongs in the national team.
The starter.
This is.
One second.
I just want to touch.
One second.
I just want to touch like 10 seconds. Even Mancini with the national team, he's not looking where the players are playing, how old they are. If they're playing well and they deserve a chance, he will give everyone a chance.
Like
Whether you
Quagliarella.
play for Spezia
Exactly.
or you play for Juventus, you will get that
I
chance.
agree with that, but
if you
I
prove.
have a few bones to pick with Mancini. Maybe another
boy.
time.
All right, another time, and I
boy.
agree. Guys, if you like this, make sure you hit the like button. I got to be honest, I kind of like it like this. I kind
Yeah.
of like Sunday, Peter
like
and
it.
Antonio.
And
And then
Monday?
today,
Chill, relax kind of podcast. We hang out.
I'm available every Monday.
guys, we'll pose a question to the viewers right now. Make sure you hit the like button if you want to see this. If we want to have on Mondays like this because everybody's schedule is different, but I think it gives more room to talk a little.
And
bit.
it's more open.
And we
for more
respect each other's
personalities.
opinions.
Yeah.
That's
So
the
I
most
think-
important thing.
I think it's fine. I like it. If you guys like this, we'll do 2 a week. For us, it's no problem.
Okay.
And if you guys no problem, we'll do it. Ludo, Dad, thank you guys for
Thank you,
coming on.
guys.
Thank
As
you,
always,
guys. Happy calcio, everyone.
And enjoy Champions League. All right.
Perfect,
As always, talk
yeah.
to you soon. Ciao,
Ciao.
ragazzi.
And Forza
Like,
Napoli.
like,
Always.
like.
Sempre. Gaetano, right? Forza Napoli, sempre.